If you could join any stable historically, what stable would you want to join?
DX.
Why DX? Perfect. Thanks, Ben.
So much fun.
If we've learned anything this trip to Vegas, George Kittle is a content machine.
This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Marissa Roberto on this digital sports center presented by the all-new Ford F-150. We are joining you from the beautiful cosmopolitan of Las Vegas, and it was a huge day in the NBA as the trade deadline has come and gone. And for the second deadline in a row, some Raps fans were perplexed at the moves made. Toronto made one of the first moves of the day, sending Otto Porter, Kira Lewis, and a 2024 first-round pick to Utah for Canadian Kelly Olynyk and Ochai Agbaji. Now, this pick was the worst of the first-round picks the Raptors own, as it currently projects to be pick number 28. And the Raps still had the Pacers pick, a Detroit second-rounder, and potentially their own if it lands in the top 6. Now, Olynyk is the third Canadian player on the Raps, as he joins RJ Barrett and Chris Boucher. In Agbaji, they take a flyer on the 14th pick of the 2022 draft, who averaged 6.7 points in 20 minutes per game in his career so far in Utah. And the moves were not done there, as they flipped Dennis Schroeder and Thad Young to the Nets for Spencer Dinwiddie. And the Raps' moves were still not done, as the Raptors are planning on waiving Dinwiddie according to reports. Outside the Raps, there are plenty of other big moves from across the league. The 76ers added Buddy Hield, with Marcus Morris and Cork Moss, and 3 second-round picks going back to Indy. The Thunder also added a veteran wing in Gordon Hayward, with Trey Mann and Davis Bertans heading to Charlotte. With All-Star festivities in the rearview mirror, the NHL is back in full swing as teams charge toward the playoffs. Leading the charge is none other than the Bruins and Canucks. Boston's 71 points is good for top spot in the East, while the Canucks' 73 points is setting the bar in the West. The two best teams in the league meet tonight in a rematch of the 2011 Stanley Cup Final, a final referred to by many as one of the best of this generation, and one that sparked the infamous Vancouver Riot. Since this iconic riot kiss was captured, the two teams have met a total of 19 times. Listen, it was mayhem and it was art at the same time, okay? It's safe to say the back-and-forth nature of the 2011 final has carried on since then, with Vancouver carrying a slight 10-9 edge in those meetings, outscoring the Bruins 62-59. So yeah, this one's been really close. Conference leader narratives aside, there was some much more recent drama between these two, when next goalie Thatcher Demko absolutely iced Bruins 10D Jeremy Swayman during All-Star Weekend. Tank that, icing your fellow American like that? Man, realistically, Demko probably didn't notice Swayman's hug offer.
Yeah, I asked him in morning skate, I said, you want a hug?
You did?
Yeah. He was like, absolutely not. I'm just kidding, but yeah, he came up to me the next day and he's like, Sway, I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, he just didn't see, I guess, and I was laughing. It was like totally cool, but there's still love. He's a good guy, so we had a good chat about it.
Luckily, Swayman definitely reached his goalie hug quota regardless. Okay, Javon, the trade deadline has come and gone. What do you make of the Raps' moves?
Well, I think it was a pretty quiet day today. The heavy lifting was done a couple weeks ago with Pascal, with OG. But I do like the move for Agbaji. You know, you're getting a guy that was a former lottery pick and really at a low cost. And I think he actually fits the Raptors' pedigree, what they're looking for, what you would, gamble with later this year in June in the draft. He's young, a 3-and-D guy that you can mold with a Scotty Barnes. But you gave away some veterans. You're also getting Kelly Olynyk, who's a Canadian, wants to be here, a guy that can shoot the ball from 3 and has been around the league. So, even for a guy like Scotty, it's big to play with him because this is probably the first time he's going to have a stretch 5 that he can, navigate with, play pick and roll, and force the defenses to play a bit more honest. But I like the direction of the Raptors right now. And obviously, we're developing. And, puts a lot of pressure on the coaching staff as well to continue to grow these players, to continue to mature with them. But, where you are, you also give yourself some flexibility in the offseason because cash is king. You have some cash, you have some draft picks, so you're in a good position going into the offseason. And then obviously the big question with Bruce Brown, you have flexibility with his contract as well, the team option. And he's going to be somebody that's touted, whether you keep him, whether you move him in the offseason. But, he's a big-time player, does a lot of everything and winning plays. And I think also for your locker room, just that winning presence, a guy that has a championship, a guy that does all the intangible things and can really foster and mentor a lot of these young guys.
Javon Shepard, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Time now for my favorite segment and yours, Why We Love Sports Today.
Why we love sports today.
And kids at sporting events usually make for some pretty fun content, especially fans as passionate as this young one. He's so sweet. I mean, some people look at this and think, oh, this is called soccer indoctrination, but I'm okay with this kind. To football, we are now just 3 days away from Super Bowl 58, and one of the biggest storylines of this Super Bowl is clearly Taylor Swift. But But an interesting thread of that story is tied to 49ers fullback Kyle Juszczyk. We all remember the iconic jacket Taylor wore made from Travis Kelce's jersey. It went viral because it was incredible. And it was made by Kyle Juszczyk's wife, Kristin, who has since signed a licensing deal with the NFL. I sat down with Kyle yesterday to talk about his wife and her booming business. I really want to talk about your wife, if that's okay.
Let's do it.
Because last game, she had something up her sleeve. She was manifesting for you.
She did.
Is there going to be a little something for this game?
There's definitely going to be a surprise for this game. I'm not going to say what it is, but she'll have something good.
Are you guys buzzing? This is really exciting for your family. She's also in the NFL now.
Super, super exciting. I'm so happy for her. She's so incredibly talented. She handles everything so well, and I've always said, like, she's better built for the spotlight than me, and, like, I joked, like, she should have been a pop star or something, like, growing up, because she just has this charisma to her, this it factor. She just gets it, you know? So for her to finally have that recognized and people see the talent that she has, just makes me so happy, so proud.
When did she start doing this into your relationship, like ripping up your jerseys to put things together?
I think it was about like 3 years ago where she really started making her own stuff. Obviously, you know, she's been coming to games for 10 years, and for a while there's not a lot of great options for women's clothing on game day. You know, I'm sure you feel it. So she quite literally took it into her own hands to change that, and you know, it started off as a little bit of a hobby, but I think, you know, she always had dreams that maybe it would turn into something like this, and so happy that it has.
I'm assuming she's not making something for Taylor or Brittany Mahomes this time around.
Not this week.
But is she making anything else for the wives on your team?
I don't think she's got anything for the wives this week. It's been a very busy week. Believe me, she's had to make a lot of different things. Put in ridiculous hours to get ready for this game. So I don't know if I'm allowed to give away any secrets right now, but she may have some surprises for other people that'll be wearing stuff.
All right, we're going to watch out for it. Thanks so much for this.
Yeah, no problem.
What a sweet man. I already know I'm going to get in the comments about not talking about football with football players. This guy was absolutely excited to talk about his wife, and nothing delighted me more. You can watch the Super Bowl Sunday on TSN and CTV at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, with coverage starting nice and early at noon on CTV. That's it for me today. We'll see you right back here tomorrow, 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. Have a good one.